Florida police discover alligators hanging from the window of a truck after an accident. A Florida woman was jailed after she admitted to having cocaine-fueled sex with a canine. A Florida woman with a machete throws feces at the police. And a Florida man with drugs attached to his genitalia claimed the drugs aren't his. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News, and they are all from the state of Florida, because on Weird AF News, on Fridays, we only do weird news from our favorite state. That's right, the upstanding state of Florida. It's Florida Friday on Weird AF News, and thanks for joining me. I have a bunch of Florida weird news. I mean, it's typical. Let's do it.
Those bizarre stories you hear about all the time that seem to only happen here in Florida.
I know, right?
Can't make this stuff up. It is just one of the many wacky news stories out of Florida.
Why does the Sunshine State consistently produce such strange news?
But what accounts for all this bizarre news? Is it the weather? Is it the people?
Florida is full of the crazy stories.
The Florida police find 2 alligators hanging from the window of a truck following an accident. Rescue workers never know what they're going to find at the scene of an accident, especially in Florida. Typically, it's going to involve somebody who's high on some chemicals. It's called driving impaired, and it's pretty common in the state of Florida. You also might find some animals, and typically those animals are going to be alligators, but there's a lot of iguanas as well. And it's Florida, so tigers are a thing. You don't know what you're going to find at the scene of an accident in Florida. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission revealed that one of its officers was called to the scene of a very bizarre car accident. How bizarre? Well, according to the report, it involved 2 Florida men and 2 alligators. Extremely typical. They posted about this accident on their Facebook page with some photos. It's 6.5 foot and 8 foot long alligator time. These alligators were hanging from the window of the SUV that had been involved in a collision. It ended up on its side. I'm looking at a photo. The truck is on its side. The alligators are on the ground in the photo. They're not hanging from the window. This must be post-window removal. Post-alligator window removal. This is a service that you need in Florida. I need alligators removed from my window, my chimney, my child's playpen. I mean, you need this sort of service in Florida. I need the alligators removed from the interior of my vehicle and my lawn. You can make a living just removing gators, I assume, in Florida. Because why, guys? Alligators everywhere. You know the song. Sing it. Maybe I'll post it after this for your amusement. Okay. It says here the officers removed the alligators from the vehicle and taped their mouths shut with electrical tape. That's pretty protocol in Florida when you're dealing with the gators. You got to tape their mouth shut so that they don't bite you in the genitalia or just talk to you about conspiracy theories, as people in Florida like to do. Unfortunately, the taping of the alligators' mouths was ultimately unnecessary as the gators were already dead. According to one of the Floridaman drivers, the 2 gators had been killed earlier that day during a fishing trip. And the Florida men were transporting these gators in the SUV when they got into the car accident. Can you imagine just killing gators on your fishing trip? You just put them in the back of your truck. Why? This is just normal behavior. You shoot some gators in the face, put them in the back of your SUV, and drive them where? Are you going to eat them? You're going to wear them? Is this a Christmas gift? Hey, check your stocking, Scotty. Yeah, Daddy hooked you up. Oh, yeah, baby, it's gator season. Merry Christmas. Got an alligator in my backyard and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Got an alligator in my patio and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Had an alligator at my birthday party and nobody cared. Nobody cared. Had an alligator in the front seat of my Volkswagen and nobody cared, 'cause it's Florida. Alligators everywhere and nobody cares. In Florida there's alligators everywhere and nobody cares. A Florida woman was jailed after she admitted to having cocaine-fueled sex with a dog. That's right, a little cocaine-fueled canine love, baby. The judge in this case called her behavior despicable, disgusting, depraved. It's almost as though this judge hasn't been working very long in Florida. There's some worse shit going on than this. They jailed her for 20 months, despite that. She's 60 years old, this little freak. Her name is Paula Moore. She's been twice convicted of possessing indecent images. Can you imagine getting indicted for indecent images in Florida? With all the stuff going on in Florida, indecent images, really? Just be thankful she doesn't actually possess what's in those images in her basement. Like, she's on video being indecent with those indecent images. I mean, just imagine what goes on. So apparently the police came to her home because they do routine checks for sex offenders who have been registered for life, as she has been. Officers took the laptop, which contained evidence. Evidence of what, you ask? Oh, good question. Evidence of something called bestiality, which I'm sure you're familiar with. I'm glad there's no images of this in the article, because this is not something I want to see. It's bad enough I'm looking at a photo of her. She doesn't look like she's okay. I'm just going to say that. You know, I mean, I don't want to be mean. It's the holidays. So they did a full analysis, and they found hidden folders containing 31 indecent images of this woman taking part in a sex act with an Alsatian breed of dog. She later admitted to possession of the images. Yeah, they're on your laptop. What are you going to do? She said she had fantasized about having sex with this dog for a number of years, and after talking about it with people in the area, she was put in touch with others who knew how to make this happen. And so she traveled a little bit. It took a bit of a drive, but she eventually was able to take part in the sex act with other people and the Alsatian dog. It's just out of control. By the way, as I look a little closer, it looks like a man in a wig. I'm not sure this is, this is a lady. I can't. Just the behavior in the world. I just can't. You have cocaine-fueled sex with a dog? This is your fantasy? And she admits that it's cocaine-fueled. I mean, at that point, you're caught with the evidence that you've had sex with a dog. You might as well admit everything. Yes, it was cocaine-fueled. There were other people there. The Amazon Prime driver was involved after he delivered some toys for the dog. It's just a Florida tryst. A machete-wielding Florida woman throws her feces at a deputy. This is one of the most glorious titles of any story out of Florida. A machete-wielding woman throws her crapola at a police officer. A woman brought a machete into a Winn-Dixie, which is a grocery store in Florida, and she acted erratically. Oh, yeah, that's an understatement. When you got a machete in a grocery store and you're throwing your crapola at people, I would say that's acting erratically. She kicked a deputy in the face. Wow. And then she defecated in a patrol car and tried to throw the feces at the officer. This happened on Monday. It's just the start of the week for these police officers. How's the holiday week starting there, Gary? Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Lady shat in my patrol car. A crew cleaning the vehicle later found a bag with about 12 grams of methamphetamine as well. I mean, when you're on meth, you're going to wield a machete, obviously. You have to. It's required. A lot of meth comes with a machete. A lot of machetes come with meth. Are you going to a grocery store? Well, check your checklist. Do you have your machete? Do you have your meth? Then you're ready to go. This quality citizen's name is Naomi Latoya Brown, age 41. She's from Crescent City, Florida. She was booked into the jail. Officials say she had a warrant as well. She's been charged with 2 counts of battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest with violence, and possession of what? You guessed it, methamphetamine. No problem with the machete, though. You can just bring that into a grocery store in Florida. No one gives a damn. You can bring a flamethrower. to a park in Florida, it's no problem. Machetes and flamethrowers, hey, just have them on your person. We're not going to chastise you or give you a ticket for that. Just bring a machete into a Walmart. It's no problem. Just bring a flamethrower to school. Hey, no worries. Just check it at the door. Then we got a play-by-play by the Crescent City Police, who say they arrived at the Winn-Dixie to remove Brown after she was reportedly screaming at someone on her cell phone. Those people are always annoying. They're yelling on their cell phone in public. Oh, man, when they're on the speakerphone. You people with your speakerphone in public, take it off. We don't want to hear your conversation, brah. I'll wield a machete. Slap that phone right out of your hand. Maybe defecate on your cell phone. I'm not above that. Yes, I am above that. I would never defecate on your cell phone. Well, I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm definitely getting canceled after this episode. So when the police arrived, they found this lady, Naomi, with a machete in a sheath attached to her belt. That's because that's when you want to walk around in a grocery store. You want your machete to be easily withdrawn. You want to be able to take out that machete. Hey, maybe you got to cut the top off a pineapple before you eat it in the middle of a store. I don't know. There's many reasons why you might have a machete in a grocery store. Right, guys? Naomi became violent and started fighting when the deputies informed her of the warrant for her arrest that she had already had out there. They were able to restrain her, but she managed to kick one of the deputies in the face, sadly. And then they secured her in the vehicle. She proceeded to defecate in the back seat. That seems strange. How'd she get her pants off if you have her cuffed? Did she just poop her pants? But then she wouldn't have been able to throw it, because it says here she also tried to throw the feces over the partition that separates the front and the back seats in a squad car. So she clearly doesn't have her handcuffs on. So how do you put a Floridian in the back of your car without cuffs? Someone who had a machete on them in a store. I mean, you're putting a lot of trust in this individual. It says here, when she couldn't get the feces over the partition, did you press it through the holes, lady? Did you do that? Just imagine her pressing the feces through those little holes. Oh, that's so gross, the visual. I'm so sorry, guys. When that didn't work, she tried to spit over the partition onto the deputy, and that's the end of the story. It's just some quality behavior, guys. Typical. At a Florida Winn-Dixie. I truly feel bad for the person who had to clean up that backseat of the police car. There's someone who has to do that. And when you're doing that in Florida, you never know what you have to clean up. I mean, it's just despicable. I really feel awful for the person who has to clean up the rear of police cars in Florida. Just imagine what you come across. These poor people. It's the holidays and they're back there cleaning up human feces and alligator saliva. I mean, just imagine. Hey, I know you guys like podcasts, obviously, and I know you like weird stories, obviously. Well, you're going to love a podcast that I also love called What Was That Like? Every episode is a wild, true story, and it's told firsthand by the person who went through it. Stories like Danny found a baby, or Emily was caught as a drug mule, or stories like this one, Henry was attacked by an alligator.
I look at the end of my leg, and attached to it is this huge alligator head on my leg.
I mean, talk about a true Florida experience, am I right? Well, listen, search for the podcast What Was That Like on any of your podcast apps, or go to the website whatwasthatlike.com. A Florida man claims that the bags of drugs wrapped around his penis did not belong to him. A Clearwater, Florida man claims that drugs the deputies found wrapped around his genitalia did not belong to him. He's 34 years old. Patrick Florence, the Florida man who's the star of this story, was riding in a car that was pulled over after the police say he was driving without lights on. The driver of the vehicle, Patrick, was arrested for DUI and possession of marijuana. A search of the car also uncovered a gun under his seat. This guy's just completing the trifecta of Florida driving behavior. The deputies searched Patrick and also found bags of cocaine, bags of methamphetamines, also known as baggies of cocaine, baggies of methamphetamines. Where were they? Well, they were wrapped around Patrick's penis. Patrick was arrested, and the report stated that here's a quote. He's quoted as saying, "The package wrapped around his penis was not his." Patrick did not say who the drugs might belong to that were found attached to his genitalia. It says here, they worry that Patrick's case might not stand up in court. Oh, you think it might not stand up in court because he had drugs wrapped around his schlong that he claimed wasn't his? I mean, I don't know how you get drugs wrapped around your schlong that aren't yours. As they say, possession is 9 inches of the law. Hey, how about that, huh? Pretty bad joke. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't blame this fella because, you know, the rule is when you're caught with drugs, you deny that they're yours. No, not mine. It's a little difficult to do that when they're wrapped around your genitalia, but still, you know, you're supposed to say, not mine. I don't know what you say. I accidentally slipped and stuck my penis into the drugs. The drugs said they were 18. I mean, come on. You say, oh, my friends attached them to me while I was sleeping. It's a big prank. They do it every year at Christmas. We pick a friend and we wrap drugs around their penis while they're sleeping. Not mine. What happened to the days of just hiding drugs in your rectum? Are these days gone? I mean, I thought that's the way to do it. You just put them right up there. I mean, the chances of them being found up there are a little less than if you just tie them to your schlong. I mean, that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? What he should have said in this instance was, hey, guys, they're not mine. I was just keeping them warm for a friend. Shoutouts are in order. For those of you who sent me Florida articles, much love to you. Appreciate that. Made my job easier. I was very busy this week because of holidays, and you made my task a little bit easier by sending me Florida articles. You can always do that by emailing me, funnyjones@gmail.com. Or you can submit them through my website, weirdafnews.com as well. Or you can send them through the Instagram, @funnyjones. That's right, @funnyjones on Instagram. Follow me. Say hi. I'll write you back. I want to give some love to my sponsor this week, What Was That Like podcast. You should check that out by going to whatwasthatlike.com. Also, big ups, as they say, as the kids say, big ups to Nick Mount, who increased his Patreon pledge. Fabulous. Nick is a wonderful human being who has interacted with me continuously on Instagram. So happy holidays to you, Nick, and thank you so much for upping your pledge on Patreon. That's just showing a lot of love and support for the show. You guys can also join the Patreon like Nick and get your name up on the wall of the studio. Don't you want your name up on the wall? Yeah. And don't you want some free Weird AF content, extra content? Well, you can go to weirdafnews.com and click on the Patreon link right there. It's super easy. Just do it. Or download the Patreon app on your phone and then search for Weird AF News Podcast. I also got a very lovely package today. Yes, I did. Super cool. And it came on the perfect day because today's Friday. This is a Florida-related item that was mailed to me by a Florida man, an actual Florida man who's also a fan of the show. Big shout out to Maximus Jost from Orlando, who wrote me a little note. Hey, Jonesy, here's a little something for the show. Florida will only get crazier. And what it is a little package that says, who's your Florida man spirit guide? And I was like, oh, who is my Florida man spirit guide? I couldn't wait to open it up. Turns out my Florida man spirit guide is Florida Man Coop, the chicken coop Florida man. And there's a little poster here of a naked man sitting in a chicken coop with a large knife and some dead chickens running from him. It's amazing. I'm going to put this on the wall. I'm going to put this on the studio wall. Maximus, this is going right up. I don't have any posters in here. This is so tremendous. I absolutely love this. It also came with a small gift of a little yellow rubber chicken, it looks like. It's just, I don't know what this is for. So I guess I'm supposed to put it on my genitalia. I'm just going to tie it around my genitalia. That's what Florida people are doing. Oh, man, this is a tremendous gift, and I'm so appreciative. Obviously, anything Florida related, I think, is just outstanding. So, very, very cool. Big shout out to Max. You guys can mail me stuff if you want. It's all good. Just reach out to me. I'll give you my address. And lastly, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. It's Christmas Eve, and tomorrow's the big day. So I hope that you are spending it with friends and loved ones in a safe place, filled with good vibes only. Good vibes only. That's what people are saying these days. Good vibes only, bro. Yeah, I hope it's some good vibes only. And if you can think of me, reach out. It's no problem. Just you can call me, 646-450-2012. You can drop me a happy holiday on Instagram at Funny Jones or email me or whatever. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm wishing you all happy holidays. And I got a little something special at the end of this, if you'll stick around. It's a little holiday Easter egg at the end of this for you that I just put it together spontaneously today. I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. It's Christmas and I got you a wonderful gift. Some bags of drugs wrapped around my dick. It's Christmas and I got you a wonderful surprise, baby. Some lovely narcotics hidden between my thighs. Oh, enjoy these drugs for Christmas. Let's enjoy these drugs 'cause it's Florida, it's Christmas. The best drugs are down my pants, you'll see. Just take them off my genitalia and enjoy these drugs on Christmas. Whoa, 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 it's Florida, and I've got the best drugs around my cock-a-doodle-doo for Christmas. There's a little bow too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Florida time this Christmas. Enjoy the drugs that I brought for you to partake in. You'll just have to reach down there, just like the police did that night. 'Cause I always wrap my stuff around my stuff, my junk around my junk. It's Christmas. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's Christmas in Florida. Florida.